Hello everyone, welcome to today's video where we will be discussing the advantages and disadvantages of ICO'S, Initial Exchange Offerings, IEO'S, and Security Token Offerings, STO'S. ICO'S, IEO'S, and STO'S have been a popular way for startups to raise funds in recent years. They are all different methods of fundraising in the blockchain industry, and each has its advantages and disadvantages. Let's dive in and explore each one of them. Part 1. Advantages and disadvantages of ICO'S. ICO, or Initial Coin Offering, is a fundraising mechanism in which a startup issues tokens in exchange for cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin or Ethereum. The advantages of ICO'S include easy access. ICO'S allow anyone to participate in fundraising, regardless of their location or investment amount. Speed. ICO'S can be completed quickly, sometimes within a matter of weeks, which is much faster than traditional fundraising methods. No dilution. Unlike equity financing, ICO'S do not dilute the ownership of the company or require giving up control to investors. However, there are also disadvantages to ICO'S, including unregulated. ICO'S are currently unregulated, which means there is a risk of scams or fraud. Lack of investor protection. ICO'S do not offer investors the same level of protection as traditional investments, such as stocks or bonds. Volatility. The value of tokens acquired during an ICO can be volatile and may not be stable, making them a high-risk investment. Part 2. Advantages and disadvantages of IEO'S. An initial exchange offering, IEO, is similar to an ICO, but the tokens are sold through a cryptocurrency exchange rather than directly to investors. Some advantages of IEO'S include trust. IEO'S are conducted through reputable exchanges that have established reputations, reducing the risk of fraud or scams. Credibility. Being listed on an exchange can provide the project with greater credibility and exposure. Liquidity. Tokens acquired through an IEO are typically immediately tradable on the exchange, increasing liquidity. However, IEO'S also have their disadvantages. Limited access. IEO'S are only available to users of the specific exchange hosting the offering, which can limit access to a wider pool of investors. High fees. Exchanges hosting IEO'S typically charge high fees, which can reduce the amount of funds that actually go towards the project. Dependency. The success of an IEO is heavily dependent on the exchange hosting it, which can limit the project's control over the fundraising process. Part 3. Advantages and disadvantages of STO'S. A security token offering, STO, is a fundraising mechanism that allows companies to issue digital securities, which are backed by real-world assets. STO'S are seen as a more regulated and secure method of fundraising than ICO'S or IEO'S. Some advantages of STO'S include regulatory compliance. STO'S are regulated by securities laws, which provides greater investor protection and reduces the risk of fraud. Asset backing. STO'S are backed by real-world assets, such as shares in a company, providing greater transparency and reducing the risk of volatility. Lower risk. STO'S are generally considered lower risk than ICO'S or IEO'S because they are regulated and backed by real-world assets. However, there are also disadvantages to STO'S, including high cost. STO'S can be expensive to launch due to the regulatory requirements and legal fees associated with the process. Limited access. STO'S are often limited to accredited investors, which can reduce the pool of potential investors. Complexity. STO'S can be complex to launch and require significant legal and regulatory expertise, which can be challenging for startups. In conclusion, each fundraising mechanism, ICO'S, IEO'S, and STO'S, has its own advantages and disadvantages. ICO'S are easy to access and quick to complete, but they are unregulated and high risk. IEO'S offer greater credibility and trust, but limited access and high fees can be drawbacks. STO'S are more secure and regulated, but they can be complex and expensive to launch. Ultimately, the choice of fundraising mechanism will depend on the specific needs and goals of the startup. It is important for investors to do their own research and due diligence before investing in any of these mechanisms. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it was informative for you.